Okay, so I got a new box, and all I can say is, what? Yeah, it's a case made by GSkill. Yeah, we're gonna figure this one out. Yep, it's a case. But instead of like trying to explain everything to you and bore the heck out of you or whatever, I'll touch on a couple of quick points, and then I'll just show you my reaction. GSkill is known for certain things like memory and even storage devices and stuff like that to some extent. I've used their Ripjaws and the Trident Z and a bunch of other. Their memory I've used for years, been very dependable, easy to use. It's easy to configure. The only times I've ever had a problem was where the BIOS itself had a problem. It wasn't the problem with the memory. So it's always been very dependable, always reasonably priced, and I've never had a problem trying to use it. Works very well, and I've been very, very happy with it. I do also know that they make some power suppliers. Now, I haven't seen them that often, but I have seen them, and it did surprise me when I saw it. It was like, oh, wow, I didn't know they did that. I also was aware that they were making some things like keyboards and mice and gaming type stuff. Had no idea they're venturing into the case market. So yeah, let's take a look at this, and then I'll make a couple of remarks at the end, and then we'll go from there. Well, it looks promising so far, but let's see what we got in the box here. All right, so the GSkill LT1 case is a mini ATX. That means it's going to be able to fit your smaller ATX boards. It probably will not fit a regular size ATX. The lighting is horrible in here. Sorry about that. We will get a little bit better light, and we'll start to discover what's in it. It's got tempered glass panel. Looks like there's room enough for 2 fans in the front. There are no fans that come with it. It's got 2 USB 3, 1 USB 2, separate. You can see that separate microphone and headphones, power and reset buttons. And let's see, is that a reset button? Yeah, it looks like power and reset buttons, not an RGB button. But we'll take a look. We'll open it up. We'll see. It looks like 2 captive thumb screws on the back here, which is pretty cool. So I should just be able to go ahead and, oh, no, they're not captive. So I'll go ahead and take the side off, and we'll get into it and we'll look at it. All right, so the back looks like it does have plenty of room for cable management and the various assortment of things. It looks like you have a hard drive cage down here for a single HDD, or probably, I'll look at that, you might be able to fit a couple SSDs. There are spaces for SSDs right here. Overall, there's probably a good, a little over a centimeter, so it looks like there'll probably be enough room for all your cable management without much of a problem. The power supply basement looks pretty wide open, so I don't foresee any problems trying to get, even if you keep a hard drive in here, trying to get a power supply in here as well. I think it'll be okay. We don't have mounting for vertical GPU, but we do have for regular. And then there's a magnetic screen on top. So looking at the front, it looks like we've got a pretty good basement here for the power supply and the hard drive. We know there's a cage back there for 1 hard drive that's in the back. Looks like there's you can put 140 or 120 millimeter fans in there. That's good. Up top, looks like you should be able to put an AIO and some fans in there without much of a problem. It looks like 120s or 140s. Looks like there's probably 2 of those that will go up there. It is a little bit smaller case, so it will fit MATX motherboards, which is fine. And I don't know, you might be able to put 1 or 2 more SSDs right there, or if you do have a custom water cooling, which I don't know if you would in this case this small, looks like there might be room for it. There is room. There's a cutout right here for the GPU, for power for the GPU, so that's always good. You don't have to try to route it over here or back here or something. And overall, it looks pretty solid. I am not going to build in this today. I'll build it in the future, but I just want to take a look and see kind of what the features are and how this thing looks overall. So yeah, the GSkill LT1, surprise. Yeah, let me put the cover back on. Let me put the covers back on and see where we go from here. Interesting thing to note while we're at it, there is a couple of slots and tabs that you can see that the side of the case, the glass on the side will fit into, so it doesn't just flop over while you're trying to screw it down or something like that. Once again, taking a look at the back just to make sure I've got enough room down there, routing stuff. Looks like, does not look like you'd be able to put 3 fans in here because it's closed here. It looks like there's only enough for 2 fans in the front, but that's plenty. You should be able to get 2 fans in the front, 2 fans in the top. If you got to, a fan in the back, you'd have plenty of airflow for this smaller form factor. And yeah, I'm excited about trying to test it out and build in it. I do like the way the front's designed and everything, that grill type look. It is open all the way through, so it is, you know, promoting basically a lot of airflow, which should be pretty cool. It's open up underneath here. You kind of grab here and here if you need to move it around. I don't know if you'd need to do that. It's small enough where you might be able to just pick it up from the bottom, but it is yeah, a nice little look to it, and it's pretty sharp looking. I imagine with a couple of RGB fans in there, it would look really, really nice. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in here and playing around with it. This, you know what, the handles, this sort of handles might make it a lot easier if you're taking it to, say, a LAN party or something. That would be pretty cool. Sorry about the noise. That would be pretty cool, and it looks like there's enough room while still being pretty compact. So this might be a win-win. And for $60, I mean, come on. I mean, that was a bargain. $60, and yeah. So one of the future videos we'll be building in this thing and seeing how we do. So there you have it. I was kind of surprised. I wasn't sure what to expect. GSkill does usually make pretty good products. I do think this case is going to turn out pretty good. There's plenty of airflow, it looks like. Looks like there's a space to put 2 fans in the front, 2 in the top, 1 in the back, so you can, you know, affect your positive or negative airflow, however you're going to do it. Probably be able to fit an AIO in there, an all-in-one cooler. I don't know if you'd be able to put a 120 in the back. I don't know if there's enough room. With some of these motherboards now, they built-in I/O shield. Some of those are getting pretty tall with heat sinks on the VRMs and stuff like that. So I don't know if you're going to have room to be able to put a 120. You should be able to put a 240 either in the top or in the front. I wouldn't see a problem. Looks like there's plenty of room to be able to get the power supply in and out, even though you have an hard drive in. And I really do like the opening for the graphics card power. I would probably like it just a little bit more if there were some grommets, but for the price of $60, I can understand that not being there, and I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. If this case were $15 or $20 more, I would expect there to be that, and I would probably also expect there to be at least a fan in the back or something. But I'm okay with there not being any fans or any extras on this case because it looks like it's pretty solidly built, and it does come with enough to make it a good case. It's not really heavy, but it's sturdy. It's solid. So unlike this pink one that's sitting behind me over here that is really lightweight and just doesn't feel like it's well made, this GSkill case, it feels really solid. It feels really good and really good quality. So we'll have to see. Not building it at this time. We are going to save that for another video that's going to be coming up. I've got an Intel build. Matter of fact, some of the stuff that's in the that one right there, some of that stuff is going to go in there along with a couple other things that I've already ordered. So we'll see how this all fits together. But there you have it. It's a GSkill LT1. Mid-size case, or smaller than mid-size case, I guess you could say MATX case. Pretty happy with it so far. We'll see how it builds. I'm looking forward to that part, but unboxing it and everything was a nice little surprise. And of course, it was a great surprise finding it when I did. I'll go ahead and leave a link to it down below. But I found it for $60. I'll have to see if it's still available for that. I noticed it, and then I didn't see it again when I was looking. So if I find it, I will go ahead and post a link to it. If I find it on Amazon, it will be an affiliate link. That means it will help the channel out some. It doesn't cost you guys any extra money to do that, but I will go ahead and post that. I'll also go ahead and post that on ThatPaulGuy.tech. I'm trying to build that website out a little bit, as well as the gaming channel, where I'm going to add some more gaming content soon. And then, of course, we're going to have to build in this case. And I have to show you guys how everything worked out in the living room, how it games, how the system that I put in there games at 4K. So a couple things coming up, as well as hitting me up on all the socials and, you know, doing those YouTube things like and subscribe and all that stuff. I do ask one very important thing. If you don't do anything else, at least do this, and that's be nice to somebody. Could be nice to everybody. It could be one of those things where you're coming out of the store, somebody's ringing that bell, and you throw some change in there. And if you don't have it, that's okay. Smile, wave, hold the door open. Just be polite, be nice, be considerate. That's all I'm asking. Okay. Somebody might also do that for you, and it just makes everybody feel better. I know I ask that in every single video, and I'm going to ask that on every single video. The world would be just a little bit better place if we all just were nice to each other once in a while. And there's some people that may or may not deserve it, but that's okay. You know better, so do the right thing, okay? Till next time, folks, when I start building in this case and I show you what's going on out in the living room, trying to game in 4K, we'll see you later.